That's probably Rockbox. Because we used to go, throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. And if you're ready for Run-DMC, everybody say, oh yeah. And then we go, oh yeah, oh yeah. And then Jay would drop the beat. Yo, what's up, y'all? This is DMC in a place to be, and today we're in the place to be. It's the Morrison Gallery here in the great NYC, and we're gonna take a tricky little walk down memory lane.
It's tricky to rock around, that's right, on time it's tricky. How is it, D? It's tricky.
This picture here is in Hollis, in our neighborhood, in front of a grocery store that's not there no more. This was one of the grocery stores where we would get the old English 40s from.
The car that I drive is called a daddy. The drink that I drink is called OEE.
This is when we were shooting Krush Groove, the movie. Michael Schultz, who had directed Car Wash, was the director of the Krush Groove movie. So for us, that was a big deal. It was like, oh shoot, we got the Car Wash dude direct, because Car Wash was iconic for us. The other truth about this is we hated doing the movie because the movie, like now all these rappers is doing movies, everybody's doing movies. It's different now. Back then, we didn't want to do a movie, and we was upset because we didn't know what we was getting into. I really hated it because if you look at Krush Groove, I got one line in Krush Groove when I had to tell Russell Run just wanted you to feel good about what he was doing. That was my one line in Krush Groove. And all the other scenes in Krush Groove was me rapping. So Run was a star. I was like telling Michael Schultz, motherfucker, he's a star, he got on the lines. Why can't I, on the days that there's no Run-DMC song performances, why can't I go home? This day was cool though. This was a cool day.
Now it's about that time for us to say that we're Run-DMC and Jam Master Jay.
There's another famous picture here where I actually put a crown on my hat. So they was trying to pacify me this day, because this day they was putting me out on the front the whole time. Because maybe they got around and said, D's feeling bad about not having no lines and Run being a star and stuff. So this whole day they put you stand in front of the car. So I think they was trying to make me feel better about not having no lines. But I'll never forget that day.
When I say whose house, I want y'all to say Run's house. Whose house?
They had to get the Cadillac because Run-DMC always talked about Big Long Caddy.
Run live!
Big Long Caddy, not like a Seville.
Written right on the side and redressed the kill.
To this day, everybody thought Run really had a white Eldorado Caddy, but he didn't. Jay had the Lincoln Continental with the huge sound system. I had a black Fleetwood Brougham Cadillac, and Run actually had a 1986 Buick Riviera. So all our cars were black, like our clothes. But because of the movie, to this day, people still think Run really had an Eldorado, but that was just for the movie.
You're blind and you can't see. You need to wear sunglasses like DMC.
By this point, my glasses had become so much of a part of me. Now, I didn't invent wearing glasses in hip hop, but because I was the first guy to rap about it. Like when I was a little kid, I got teased, bullied, and picked on because I wore glasses, I read comic books, and I went to Catholic school. So now all the odds are against me in the hood. So I always remember that you into those corny comic books, I'm crying, yeah, you goddamn right I am. For me, hip hop is about keeping it real. So when I got up in front of the world, I'm not in a gang. I don't live in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Harlem, I come from Queens, I go to Catholic school, I wear glasses, you know what I'm saying? I like comic books. So here we go. I did this rhyme that says DMC. D's for doing it all of the time. M's for the rhymes that are all mine. C's for cool as can be. And Run would ask me, why you wear those glasses? And I would shout to the world, so I can see. Because I wasn't ashamed. Like kids thought there was something wrong with me because I needed help to see. Like, I'm less of a human being because I don't got 20/20 vision. I remember all those kids that was teasing me saying, hey, Four Eyes, hey, but all the glasses show. But what they didn't realize, with the glasses on, I got vision times billion 20/20 vision that's better than yours. Because of me, people that didn't even need glasses wanted to wear them. So the glasses actually, my weakness actually became my superpower.
1, 2, 3, Jam Master J, Run-DMC.
What the fuck are these?
My Adidas. Walk through closet doors and roll all over Coliseum floors. I slept on stage at Live Aid.
You can say this is the first press conference for hip hop's first national arena tour. This is a legendary picture. Before Raising Hell, before Run-DMC hooked up with Aerosmith, there was the first hip hop tour called the Fresh Fest.
Fresh Festival, starring the world's best rappers, Run-DMC, Curtis Blow, the Fat Boys, and many more.
And the Dynamic Breakers, the New York Breakers, Houdini, the Fat Boys, and Jermaine Dupri, one of the greatest producers ever, was actually a little kid dancing on the Fresh Fest tour. This is even before the Adidas deal. This became part of Run-DMC's character, because people wanted to know, how in the world do they wear the sneakers without any laces? And I don't know neither. They just stuck to us. A lot of people related to jail culture, because in jail they would take the laces so you didn't kill yourself or kill anybody else. That's not what we got it from. Here's why Run-DMC did it. There's a show called The Little Rascals. There was one episode when they was all in front of a bakery. They was going, if I had a nickel, I'd get the chocolate cake.
I'll take a big piece of that chocolate cake, for I like chocolate cake.
And then the other kid would go, if I had a nickel, I'd get the apple pie. If I had a nickel, I'd get the carrot cake. So me, Run, and Jay, before we had money, we used to go down to Jamaica Avenue in Queens, and we used to look in the window like the Little Rascals, and we would go, man, if I had $30, I'd get the Adidas with the red stripe. And Jay would go, man, if I had $30, I'd get the Adidas with the green stripe. I said, man, if I had $30, I'd get the Adidas with the black stripe. So the idea for wearing no laces came when we did get $30. We would walk in the sneaker store and we would ask for whichever color Adidas we would want, and the store guy would bring it out to us. We were so excited about having the new ones on, we didn't take time to lace them up. We just put the new ones on without the laces. We would throw the laces around our neck, and we would tell the sneaker store, oh, to throw those out, and we would walk out the store.
We make a mean team, my Adidas and me. We get around together, we down forever, and we won't be had when born a bad weather idea.
We were so excited to have the sneaker, the Adidas that we always wanted. So there was no time to waste, especially when not wasting time to lace them up, because then that's gonna be less time for people in the world to see them on our feet.
A sucker tried to steal 'em, so a quarter and a four, and I walked down the street and bop to the beat with Flea on my leg and Adidas on my feet. And yo, now I'm just standing here shooting the gift. Me and D and my Adidas standing on 2 fists. My Adidas.
When we did the Fresh Fest, we couldn't believe we were taking hip hop to that rock and roll level. We was playing in the arenas where all the big sports teams played. So that was mind blowing to us. This is prophetic of what was to come. Stadiums and sneaker deals for all you other rappers.
We just gonna drop the mic and scream on the Beastie Boys!
I remember this morning like it was yesterday. It's on the rooftop of a restaurant, soul food restaurant, like a high-end joint too. I forget the lady's name, but this is a Run-DMC Beastie Boys shoot to announce that we're gonna go on the Together Forever tour. So when we was announcing this is like 87, I believe. The media was like, there's no way these white Jewish punk rock kids is gonna get with these black hip hop kids from New York City and anything's good gonna happen. Because the Beasties, before they did hip hop, it was a punk rock group. So it was a very punk rock hip hoppy thing to say, we don't care what you say, we're gonna tour together.
What can you expect from the 2 biggest groups around today, you know what I'm saying?
I love these guys like brothers. They're like brothers to me.
Thank you. It's a beautiful.
This is really special.
Here we go.
That's crazy, we got them beepers. This is around the time when they thought all young people that looked like that wore gold chains and Adidas were drug dealers. So yeah, that's a beeper. That's before there's no iPhones. So I would give you a number and you would call that number and it would beep with your number and I would call you back. And that's a green top. I had on green Adidas with the stripes and that's a green Kango. This is actual from a Volkswagen. Mike D took the emblem off a Volkswagen Beetle, threw it on a cheap ass chain and said, yo, what's up? Well, me and MCA might be hungover, because there was a lot of beers back then around this time, but Run and Ad Rock would never shut up. So Ad Rock is the Run of the Beasties and Run is the Ad Rock of the Run-DMC group. We was always crying, stomach hurt, laughing with the Beasties.
Kings from Queens come kings. We're raising hell like a class when the lunch bell rings.
This is definitely Raising Hell. What's funny is it don't feel like it was the past. It feels like it's now. This is significant of a victory dance. That's probably Rockbox, because we used to go, throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care, and if you're ready for Run-DMC, everybody say, oh yeah, and then they would go, oh yeah, and then Jay would drop the beat, and it's crazy. Hip-hop is the cousin of disco. What do you mean, DMC? I remember waking up one morning and disco died. Now, disco was fabulous because you had Donna Summer, you had the Bee Gees. This disco thing was like huge. You had Burn, Baby, Burn, Disco Inferno. You had all the disco clubs. You had Studio 54. And it's also historically documented that two of the biggest rock groups in the world made disco records, because until they did that, even they couldn't get into Studio 54. And if you want to know who I'm talking about, Queen made another one, Bites the Dust, boom, boom, boom. Another one, Bites the Dust. And when they made that, come on in, you can come in Studio 54. And Rolling Stones made a Miss You, woo, 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 I miss you. So two of the biggest rock groups in the world made disco records because even they couldn't get into Studio 54. So this thing called hip hop is buzzing in New York City. So I remember they killed disco and threw it out, and us hip hop guys said, hey, y'all don't want that? And we took it and we took all the bass lines and the beats and we started making all these records. So when we was doing that, the world was like, there's no way anybody wants to hear this hip hop stuff. And we was making singles just like disco. But then Run-DMC, we got souped. We made one single and it worked. We made It's Like That, Suck 'Em C's, it worked. Then we made Hard Times, Jam Master Jay, and it worked. Then we got super and said, you know what, we're gonna make a whole hip hop album. And this is 84. Everybody was, there's no way anybody wants to hear a whole album full of that hip hop stuff. We'll give it to you on the singles. You got some cool singles, The Message, Planet Rock, It's Like That, Suck 'Em C's, but there's no way anybody wants to hear a whole album full of that. We did the self-titled Run-DMC album, put Rockbox on it. It went gold. Sold 500,000 records, and we got on MTV. So this picture is symbolic of what we was about to do for the culture. Now, Run-DMC, our main achievement, not first to go gold, first to go platinum, first on the cover Rolling Stone, first on MTV, that's not our main achievement. Our main achievement, we didn't want it, but they gave it to us, being the chosen representatives of the culture. Not by demand, it was just something that was meant for us three to be the face. You know, the NBA has their emblem. So this picture is kind of like symbolic of the victory of all the things that we have accumulated, not just for Run-DMC, but for the whole culture as a music. So the same way you got the jump man with the Jordan, you could take this silhouette and put it on a shirt, and it represents the magnificence and the purpose of the hip-hop culture. Like Grandmaster Caz from the legendary Krush Brothers says, hip-hop didn't invent anything. We reinvented everything. And I think that's what these pictures represent.